Hello, women of the world. Welcome to Her Vision, Her Empire, where we celebrate the strength, ambition, and dreams of women like you who are forging their own paths in the world of entrepreneurship. Remember, it's time to build your empire, one vision at a time. Hello, women of the world. I am your host, Sadie, and welcome to another episode of my podcast. Today, I am going to be interviewing Maureen Siziba. Welcome to the show, Maureen. How are you doing today?
Hi, Sadie. Thank you so much for having me on your show. I really appreciate it. I am doing well. Today is one of the good days, so I'm grateful to be here. Thank you so much.
Oh, I'm so grateful that you're here and on the show today. Could you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. My name is Maureen Siziba. I am a mom of two kids, three if you count the dog. And I live in Canada. I live in Southern Ontario. I am kind of a jack of all trades. So I have a business online, multiple, I would say. I have a YouTube channel. I have a podcast. I serve in my community. I do kickboxing. So I'm somebody who likes to stay busy, and that's me. Yeah, in a nutshell.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
So, tell us a little bit more about your business and your online business. I guess really any of your businesses.
Yeah. Okay. Well, my journey in online business started years ago, to be honest. I've always like my husband and I are very ambitious people, and I'm very creative. He's not as creative as me, but he's like the intellectual kind of logical side, and I'm the more creative, spontaneous person. So
Mhm.
I have tried my hand at many, many businesses online. I have tried Amazon, doing Amazon selling. I've done drop shipping. I've done e-commerce. I've done Etsy. I even was building an app with Family Friend for a while because I had this really great idea of creating an app for hairstyling to be like going to remote hairstylist kind of thing, like Uber
Oh,
Eats but
wow.
for hairstyling.
Oh, cool.
And yep, and it didn't end up working out, logistical reasons, but I learned so much through all of these businesses. And then recently, I was on Instagram and I had this idea that I really wanted to create a course. Like this idea I had before I even jumped into the digital marketing. It was just something that was kind of in my heart, in my spirit. And I guess because I saw so many people have success with it, and I felt like, oh, I have like something to give too. And I really want to create a course that will help people and that could provide for our family at the same time. And
Oh,
it
yeah.
just so happened that it's very strange the way it happened with me. I started being followed by this couple that I've never met. I don't know them, but it just struck me because they had a very branded Instagram page. And I was like, oh, what are these people doing? And I come to find out that they're selling a course, and they're selling a course that they didn't make. And I was like, oh, wait, that's kind of brilliant.
Yeah.
Because like I want to make a course, but I tried to actually start making one, but it's a lot of work, a
Oh,
lot of
yeah.
time.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
a lot of work and a lot of time, and I still want to. Like, it's still an ambition that I have in my heart. But I saw them selling this particular course. I didn't buy right away. I kind of watched from a distance and tried to see if I could do it on my own.
Okay.
And I just couldn't. Not in the point of time that I was in right now. Like, I was just too busy I had too many commitments to actually sit down and focus and create the entire course myself. So I felt like, I mean, this was a couple doing this, so I felt really kind of good about doing it because they didn't seem like scammy. They didn't seem like somebody was just trying to get a quick buck. They seemed
Yeah.
very genuine and very honest in their pursuit and in their desire to do things ethically and morally, and that was very attractive to me. Um, I came across other people then doing the same thing that they were doing. And I started to see them having so much success. And I'm like, wait a second, there's something to this, you know?
Yeah.
And so I talked to my husband about it, and I said, you know, maybe we should actually consider doing this. I see all these people have success. Why not us? Like, why not? Why can't we do it? Like, what do they have that we don't have, you know? So that's how I got started in digital marketing. So I purchased the course, and oh my gosh, I'm the type of person that I don't, you know, a lot of people, they have analysis paralysis. I'm the opposite. As soon as I have an idea in my head, I have to execute it then and there. Like, I can't do anything else until this thing that I have in my head is done. So I spent the weekend learning everything, setting up everything, and I was super eager and like jumped in. So that's been my experience so far. Now I've been doing this. I launched officially my digital marketing course, or my digital marketing course and product and everything, September 12th. So that's when I've been doing it since September 12th.
Okay.
And then I created my own product that was a complement to the course, because I felt like there's some stuff that the course is not telling us. So I was like, where are the holes? Where are the most common questions that I have that other people might have? And I created a product for that. And I got some money from that successfully. Like, that was a really great success for me. And it showed me that, hey, I might be on the right track here. Like, there's something to this.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's been my experience so far.
That's great. So it's been probably 2 months, 2.5 months?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
That's great.
Yep.
And it's great that you're seeing success. How long has it, I guess I've seen some of your videos online, and I've seen you talking about, like, I'm doing this to see if I can actually make money doing this and see if it's right, or if you can, or if other people can actually make money doing this. And what has been your experience with that? Like, have you seen, I guess, I don't know, like, have you seen a good trend where you've seen other people do it and get money for it, and then you have as well? Or are you still kind of building up to that?
I would say both. So I've definitely seen some hints of success, and I've watched people go from nothing to having huge amounts of success, like ridiculous numbers that don't even make sense to me, to be honest.
Yeah.
Right? I think we've all seen those success stories because they stick out in your mind, right?
Yeah.
So when people say, hey, I went from making $3,000 a month to making $100,000 a month in like less than a year, that sticks out in your brain. You're like, oh
yeah.
gosh, right? So I've seen people do that, and I love watching the people who do it honestly. So I've really enjoyed watching people who've said, I didn't make any money in my first 3 months. I didn't make any money in my first 4 months. I like watching those people because they still give you hope on the days that you're not necessarily feeling hopeful, because it's not as easy as those success stories all make it out to be. I think it's possible, but not easy. So I've already seen some success. I've made just about $400 now. So from my own digital products. So I know that selling your own digital products can make you money. But I'm still actually learning a lot. I'm still reading. I read books all the time. I'm currently reading about copywriting. My next book is going to be about marketing psychology. I read a lot about how to make my business better. So that's what I'm really invested. So let's put it that way. Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, I love that. I just love that you like to follow those people who are very open, vulnerable, people that you can relate to, more so than the people who are making $100,000 a month, you know, because I feel like that's what I want to share with people too. Same with this podcast. Like, I want to show the good side to things, but also the rough, tough, other side of things as well, so that people know really what to expect, and so they're not surprised for with other things that come
That's
up
awesome.
that everybody doesn't talk about, you know? So
Yeah, 100%, because I think that's so true, Sadie, that like when you just see these like success stories, you think that everyone is having this incredible, crazy success right away. And then
right.
when you're faced with the reality that, hey, it doesn't actually happen that way overnight, it can be really jarring. So,
Hmm.
yeah, I think it's great that you have this podcast and that you are sharing this with other people so that they can, first of all, they can actually be encouraged that this is still possible, even if it's not possible right away. Like most businesses don't even turn a profit for their first year or two. So the fact that people are turning profits with this business within a year tells you that it's actually a good business. It's just
Oh
people
yeah.
expect it to be fast and easy, and
Hmm.
it's not.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I mean, for some people, it just kind of magically happens and they go viral and things take off really quickly for them. But for the majority of us, that doesn't necessarily happen right away. And so it's
Hmm.
really nice to have that side, and people who are very vulnerable and open to watch and to realize, like, hey, like I'm in the same situation and this is very relatable for me.
Yeah, totally. I absolutely agree with that. And it's kind of funny. I was telling, this is kind of a side note, but this is a very female dominated kind of industry right now. The digital marketing space is very female
Hmm.
dominated. And
Yeah.
it's kind of interesting to see the men who enter the space because they do really well because there's not too many of them,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was just thinking about that's funny. It's like so female dominated that any man that pops up, he like sticks out right away.
Oh, yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've realized
Maybe.
that too. And I think it has a lot to do with like moms who are stay at home moms that want to make money at home, or also moms that work jobs that want to hopefully someday um, be making enough money from this side hustle or this business or whatever you want to call it, so that they can quit their day job and then be home with their kids. So,
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
mm-hmm.
I agree with that. And there's a lot of financial need these days, so it's very enticing.
Yeah.
Like a lot of us are struggling, and I mean, you're in the U.S., right, Sadie?
Yeah.
Is that?
Mm-hmm.
I think the U.S. interest rate is like just over 5%, and in Canada, it's almost 8%. So
Yeah.
things are incredibly unaffordable now for most of us. So
Mm-hmm.
um, it's very enticing to be able to have an option to make money, to supplement your income and make money from an online source.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Hmm.
And just being able to, even if you don't have kids at home, like it's nice to work from home. It's nice not to have to travel, commute, and stuff like that. And so and you're also doing things that you love to do.
Hmm.
So that's
Absolutely.
great. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Don't mind me. I'm just having a glass of wine while we talk. Go for
Oh,
it.
no, that's totally fine.
It's Friday evening.
Understandable at the end of the day, right?
Hmm.
um, I was going to ask you too, which social media platforms do you use for your business? I know you were saying you use YouTube, right, for your YouTube channel. You
My
have a
YouTube channel is
podcast.
completely, yes, I have a podcast and a YouTube channel
Okay.
completely separate from my business. So my
Oh, okay.
YouTube channel is completely unrelated. It has nothing to do with money making.
Oh,
It's
okay.
actually about near-death experiences.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's a whole other thing. And then my podcast is with two of my friends, and it's really, we talk more about like relationships and girl stuff like that. So my other businesses all my businesses are completely unrelated. But for my digital marketing business specifically, I use primarily Instagram and TikTok, and I started on Pinterest as well because
Okay.
I've heard some people have success on there, and I was like, well, why not? At least let me like just, I'm doing everything else, might as well just throw up a couple pins every day and see what happens, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, those are primarily the three ways I'm doing it. I do want to, at some point, also go into YouTube because I do think that there's a need for it on YouTube because there's not many people really talking about it thoroughly or in
Mm-hmm.
the way that it's being
Sorry.
talked about. No, it's okay. In the way that it's being talked about, like on Instagram. But yeah, that's it. Just Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest. Everything gets pushed out to Facebook, but I'm not really actively on Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
I'm kind of in the same boat. I was talking to you earlier about like just trying to do everything, and sometimes I feel
Yeah,
a little overwhelmed.
it is
And
overwhelming.
yeah, I'm sure you feel it too. Um, but it's so nice, and I feel like there are so many people that just kind of migrate to one social media platform, and so if you're not using that one specifically, you won't reach that audience. And so it's really hard for me to be like, okay, I'm not going to do Facebook or TikTok right now, because I know that there's people watching my videos there, even though it's not like blowing up or anything, but there's still people watching them.
Yeah, there are. Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually heard, I don't know if this is true, but I heard that for Gen Zs, TikTok is being used more than Google for searches. Like they're
Oh,
using
wow.
TikTok even more than Google to search things. So I think
That's so
TikTok is
crazy.
definitely useful. I've seen people who've made lots of money on TikTok. So like
Yeah.
using digital marketing, doing digital marketing, they've made a lot of money. So yeah, I guess it depends on I don't know, depends on your personality, your market. Yeah. I've just tried to do everything, but it's really hard, but I try.
Yeah. Yeah. Me
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
um, yeah, for me, for some reason in my brain, I just think that like Gen Z is like TikTok, and then like millennials are like Instagram, and then
That's
like the
right.
older generation is all Facebook,
That's exactly right. You actually, that's absolutely true. You can tell by just like even just looking at the videos that do well on Instagram versus the videos that do well on TikTok versus the videos that do well on Facebook. There's clearly a distinction in the demographic. So
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
you're absolutely right. Yeah, it's so true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's just what that's what
Hmm.
I've perceived, or that's what
Hmm.
I've noticed anyways when
You
I've been
got
doing
it.
it.
You
Yeah.
got it right. Yep. I even saw like a video or a meme or something that was funny, and it said something to the effect of like it was a millennial talking, and he's like, "Oh, I don't watch TikTok. I wait until those TikToks come on Instagram Reels 2 weeks later, like a normal person." So true. It's true
Yeah,
because a
it
lot
is.
of the stuff that goes viral on Instagram was viral on TikTok like months ago. So
That's
it's funny.
hilarious. Yeah, I
Yeah.
totally agree with that. And going back to YouTube, I do feel like I want to start a YouTube channel as well, and I have it like all set up to start. I haven't recorded the first video yet, but I do feel like it is a good place to start doing digital marketing too, because at least what I've heard is that YouTube is the second biggest search engine in the whole world. And
Believe it.
so, yes, I'm assuming that, Google is the first or something like that. I didn't look that up, but, but yeah,
They're owned
YouTube.
by the same person. So YouTube is owned by Google.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
they are connected. So it makes sense. Yeah.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah, so it just feels like the next step, in both of our journeys. It kind of sounds like so. I'm excited to watch yours. So.
Thanks. Thanks. Whenever it eventually goes up. But my husband was saying, and like you should consider this too. He's like, just post the Instagram reels on YouTube, like as shorts. Because
Yeah.
shorts on YouTube is the same as reels on Instagram. It pulls new people in, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I keep saying I will, but the problem is that the Instagram and the TikTok reels can go up to a minute and a half. But on
Okay.
YouTube, it only goes up to a minute, which means I'm going to have to edit out all of my reels and
Oh,
condense
gotcha.
all of them to a minute, which is kind of tedious.
Yeah, it is.
But yeah.
I'm also. I don't know very much about YouTube or YouTube Shorts, how anything works or anything, so I really need to like dive into that and figure that out because I have no idea yet. But I mean, I
Hmm.
also did that with Instagram and TikTok. Like when I started digital marketing, I had no idea how to do any of that, but now I'm more comfortable with it because I do it so often. So,
Yeah, you're doing great.
oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at the questions here.
Yeah, go for it.
What are your goals for your business, short term and long term?
Yes. Okay, my short-term goal, I'm going to be very honest.
Hmm.
I'm kind of outing myself here, but my short-term goal is to pay off our debt. We have a ton of debt. My husband has debt from when he was in law school. My husband's a lawyer.
Okay.
And we have the taxes. The tax debt is ridiculous. Taxes here are super high.
Hmm.
And on top of that, it's just like stupid decisions that we made in our 20s,
Yeah.
that we're still paying for. So we have a ton of debt. So short term, I want to get rid of that. I want that mountain off our back. And then long term, my vision is always like, I mean, it depends on how long term we're talking here.
Yeah.
I mean, 5 years from now, I would say I don't, I know that I want to give a significant portion to charity or I want to give a lot away. I want to do a
Yeah.
lot of things for other people.
Hmm.
So, I obviously want to have the minimum stuff at our house, right? I don't want to have to worry about groceries or gas or stuff like that. But I
Yeah.
also want to, I just love the feeling of like, because I know I'm not the only one hurting.
Yeah.
I'm not. I have friends that I know, we talk about it, and they're hurting financially. They're
Hmm.
struggling. And where I'm in, which is in the Toronto area, people are really, really struggling financially right here. Most people cannot even afford rent, and it's getting worse and worse and worse. So I would love to be able to help people out, not just give them money, but show them how to make money for themselves.
Yeah.
Like I don't believe it's a personal philosophy of mine that I can never be happy if everyone around me is unhappy. So it doesn't matter how much wealth I have, if everyone around me is poor, broke, and struggling, my wealth means nothing. So
Yeah.
for me, I want to make a difference in my community. That's the long-term goal.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
I love that.
Flies. Sorry.
Oh, no, it's
Yeah.
okay.
Fruit fly. Probably because of the wine. Yeah, go for it.
Oh,
We're
that's
good.
really great. I love that. Thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah. Did you talk about yours in any of the episodes?
Um, Not that I can think of. I don't remember if I did or not in my story, like my the second episode where I told everything about my business and stuff or in my journey.
Mhm.
But I don't know if I've if I've said my long term or short
Do
term
you know what
goals.
it is?
I would say short term. We also have debt, and I want to get rid of that as well.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like a ton of debt or anything, but it's just, it's there and interest and everything. It's just, it would be nice not to have that. So,
Amen to that. Hmm.
yeah. And then long term, um, I would really just like to be at a point to where we're comfortable because I know, I mean, you explained Canada,
Hmm.
and how you're doing there, and here it seems like things are crazy too.
Hmm.
Just a bunch of inflation, and like housing costs are crazy, and just
Yep.
even like buying food is crazy. It's super expensive,
Yep.
or gas and stuff. It's bizarre. So it would
It
just be
is.
nice to be comfortable, buy a
Yes.
house because we've only rented. So that would be a huge milestone for us, I think, to buy a house.
The housing market here is ridiculous. Even if I had the money, I wouldn't buy right now. It's just at
Hmm.
8% interest, 8%. I'd be
Yeah.
paying every month. That no. No. I would I would take the money and buy somewhere else. I would not buy here. It's
Yeah.
too crazy. But yeah,
Yeah.
hopefully that'll change. Yeah, we'll see. Hmm.
I mean, it would be nice, to make enough to just pay it with cash. Then you wouldn't have to worry
True.
about interest, but
True, true. You're right. Now, so you're thinking big. That's good. Yeah, I would do that. But you know what? I would still need the housing market to come down because things are overpriced too. So
Yep.
yeah,
Yep. That's true.
but yeah. Mhm.
Yep. Um, I think we have time for one more question. If that sounds okay.
Yeah.
What is one piece of advice that you would share with someone just getting started with digital marketing or wanting to become an entrepreneur or is maybe on the fence about it?
Okay. I would ask them, first of all, why they want to do it and see if their reason is like really legit or if they're maybe being pressured or they have a misconception about it. But if they have a real like heart for this and they really want to change their circumstance, I would tell them to learn as much as they possibly can because knowledge is something nobody can take away from them. It's a tool they can use forever. It compounds over time. Yeah, that's what I would say that they need to learn and learn as much as possible. And not only learn, but they need to now implement what they learn. So don't just stay at one spot in the education and then just be like, okay, I know everything, and you just don't do anything about it. Take that knowledge and actually use it, implement it. Think about creative ways that you can actually use the knowledge. Don't just listen to what everyone else is doing, but think about like, hey, how could this actually serve people? How can I use this to actually help someone else? Or yeah, that's what I would tell the person. But I don't actually think that this business is for everyone. So I've had people come up to me and ask me about it, and I knew they were not the right person for this. So I was very honest with them. I said, this is what it entails. I'm not sure that this would be the right fit for you. Yeah, but that's what I would, if somebody was serious about it, I would say learn and as much as possible and just start implementing what you learned.
Yeah, I love that. I feel the same way. I love learning. So I just I'll just keep learning and just look up more things to learn about and
Same.
Yeah. So
Same.
I feel like that's a great thing to say to them. So thank you.
Yeah, advice. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, great advice. Yep.
Awesome.
So thank you so much for being on my podcast. And is there anything else you would like to say before we end?
No, I want to just say thank you. This has been awesome. I've had such a great time talking to you. You're really easy to talk to,
Oh, thank
and
you.
I appreciate it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you
thank
so
you.
much for being on here, and
My
I
pleasure.
really appreciate it. So,
Yeah, for sure. My
thank you so
pleasure. Thank
much.
you guys so much.
You've just listened to an episode of Her Vision, Her Empire. We upload a video every single week, so don't forget to hit subscribe or follow to not miss out on future content. If you'd like to support our podcast, we would absolutely love it if you left a review or shared it with someone you know that would benefit from this content. Links to our socials are found below in the show notes, and thanks again for listening. Until next time.